Ramanuja Namaha. So we'll look at one verse from chapter 16 of Bhagavad Gita. So in this chapter, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he is talking about divine and demoniac qualities. So we'll look at the first verse from this chapter, where Bhagavan Shri Krishna is talking about some divine qualities, Daivi Sampat. And he also says later that Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya, these divine qualities, they lead us. When we cultivate these qualities, when we practice, exhibit these qualities, then over time they lead us to liberation, right? So that therefore we should try to cultivate and practice these qualities. So in the first, so we'll look at the verse, and we'll also look at what Srimad Bhagavad Ramanujacharya, see the commentary or how he has explained this verse. So first we'll look at the verse. abhayam sattva samshuddhihi jnana yoga vyavasthitihi danam damascha yajñascha swadhyayastapa arjavam. Again, abhayam sattva samshuddhihi jnana yoga vyavasthitihi danam damascha yajñascha swadhyayah tapah arjavam. So we'll look at rough meanings of these words, and then we'll look at Ramanuja's commentary on this. Abhayam. Abhayam means fearlessness. Sattva samshuddhihi. Sattva means our internal apparatus, inner apparatus, that is mind, heart, intellect. Sattva samshuddhi means purification of our mind, heart, intellect. Jnana yoga vyavasthitihi, being established in Jnana yoga. Danam, giving charity. Damaha, control of the mind. Yajñaha, engaging in sacrifice, in yajna. Swadhyayah, self-study, doing self-study. Tapa, engaging in austerity. Arjavam, simplicity, straightforwardness. So the qualities mentioned in this verse are, again, to recap, abhayam is fearlessness. Sattva samshuddhi means purification of mind, heart, intellect. Jnana yoga vyavasthiti means being established in Jnana yoga. Danam means giving charity. Damaha means controlling the mind. Yajna is sacrifice. Swadhyaya is self-study. Tapa is austerity. And Arjama means straightforwardness. So these are the qualities mentioned by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And let's see how Bhagavad Ramanujacharya, what Ramanuja has written about this. So we'll look at that. इष्टानिष्ट वियोग संयोग रूपस्य दुःखस्य हेतु दर्शनजं दुःखं भयं तन्निवृत्तिः अभयं सत्व संशुद्धिः सत्वस्य अंतःकरणस्य रजस्तमोभ्याम् असंस्पृष्टत्वं ज्ञानयोग व्यवस्थितिः प्रकृतिवियुक्त आत्मस्वरूप विवेकनिष्ठा दानं न्यायार्जित धनस्य पात्रे प्रतिपादनं दमः मनसः विषयोन्मुख्य निवृत्ति संशीलनम यज्ञः फलाभिसन्धिरहित भगवत आराधन रूप महायज्ञादि अनुष्ठानम स्वाध्यायः सर्वभूतेः भगवतः तद आराधन प्रकारस्य च प्रतिपादकः कृत्स्नो वेदः इति अनुसन्धाय वेदाभ्यास निष्ठा तपः कृच्छ चान्द्रायण द्वादशी उपवासादेः भगवत प्रीणन कर्म योग्यतापादनस्य करणम आर्जवं मनोवाक्काय कर्मवृत्तीनाम् एकनिष्ठता परेषु. So this is what Bhagavad Ramanujacharya has written. So first is abhayam. Ishtanishta viyoga sanyoga rupasya dukkhasya hetu darshanajam dukkham bhayam tannivrittihi abhayam. Ishta means things that we want, things that we like. Anishta is things that we don't want, things that we don't like, things that we would want to avoid. So now it can so happen in this world, right, that things that we want, it may be that they will get separated from us, they will get away from us, and things that we don't want, things that we don't like, they would come upon us. So this is known as Ishta Viyoga and Anishta Sanyoga. Ishta Viyoga means being separated from things that we like or things that we want, and Anishta Sanyoga means coming upon us of things that we don't want, things that we don't like. Now both of these would cause us dukkham, distress, right, sadness. Now it can be that I can see that, okay, it is maybe sometime in the soon or in the near future or sometime, there are reasons or factors as to why things that I want would get separated from me soon in the near future. Or I can see reasons or factors or causes to indicate that things that I don't want would come upon us soon, right? So both of these, we can see factors or reasons or causes which indicate that things that we want would get separated from us, and things that we don't want would come upon us. Because we can see these factors or causes, therefore there's a sort of distress in the mind. So that distress is known as fear. So fear is just when we can see that there are reasons to indicate that okay, things that we don't want would come upon us, or things that we want would get separated from us. So the distress is caused in the mind. So that is called as fear. And fearlessness or abhayam is overcoming this fear, or transcending this fear, or absence of this fear is known as abhayam. Next, sattva samshuddhihi. Sattvasya antahakarnasya rajastamobhyam asamsprishtatvam. Sattva refers to antakarna, mind, heart, intellect. Rajastamobhyam asamsprishtatvam. When our inner mind, heart, intellect, when that becomes free of the qualities of rajas and tamas, rajogunam and tamogunam, then that is known as sattva samshuddhi. Rajogunam means, rajas is the quality of passionate action, passionate activity. When we have lot of desires, some deep desires in the heart for worldly things, and based on those worldly desires, we act, we just run here and there, do whatever, this action, that action, all kinds of actions, just to get those desires fulfilled. So worldly desires. So that is rajas, passionate activity. And tamas is inertia, darkness, opaqueness, laziness. When the mind is very highly clouded, covered, cannot think properly, very high state of delusion, and so that is tamas. When our heart, mind, intellect becomes free of this rajas and tamas, so that is sattva samshuddhi. Next, jnana yoga vyavasthitihi prakriti viyukta atmaswarupa vivekanishta. So there is this body and mind that we have, and there is also the self, the spirit, soul. So this self is distinct, different from the body and mind. So discriminating between prakriti, body, mind, and the self, the atma, is known as, this discrimination is what is jnana yoga. So jnana yoga vyavasthiti means having in our heart the considering the distinction between the body, mind, and the self, considering that the body and mind is different from the self. So that is jnana yoga vyavasthitihi. Danam nyayarjita dhanasya patre pratipadanam. Danam means charity. So we should earn in a righteous way, in a proper, correct, honest way, without engaging in mal practices, without doing cheating, deception, and all those wrong kind of things. Earn in a righteous way. So this is for grihasthas, householders. Householders should earn in a righteous way, and then the earning that they have, the money that they earned through this, they should give some portion of that to deserving parties, to worthy candidates, to people who deserve that. So that is known as danam, or charity. Damaha manasah vishyaunmukhya nivritti samshilanam. So dama means control of the mind. So our mind generally, naturally would go towards worldly things, things that it likes. So, and towards the objects of the senses, etc. So now to practice the habit of controlling the mind from going towards these worldly things, slowly the devotee can practice. Okay, mind should not go all around the place, should be a bit more controlled. So this practice to control the mind, so this is known as dama. Next, yajna. Yajna hai phalabhisandhirahita bhagavad aradhanupa mahayajnadi anushtanam. Yajna is, or sacrifices. So there are these yajnas that people do. So these yajnas, also sacrifices, are also, the devotee considers that these yajnas are also one form of worship of Bhagavan only. These yajnas are also a way to worship Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. So thinking like that, just like we worship Bhagavan in the temple through Archana, etc., Similarly, through these yajnas, the same Bhagavan is being worshipped in a different way. So, devotee considers like this, and phalabi sandhi rahita, without desiring, without being attached to the fruits of the actions, without being attached to the results of these activities, the devotee engages in these yajnas as a worship of Bhagavan. So that is known as yajnah. Swadhyayah savibhutehe bhagavataha tad aradhana prakarasya cha pratipadakah skritsno vedah iti anusandhaya vedabhyasa nishtha. So these all the Vedas that are there, they are just to explain to us, to elucidate to us about Bhagavan, about Bhagavan, along with the qualities of Bhagavan, form, paraphernalia, pastimes, etc. Just to elucidate, explain to us about Bhagavan, all these Vedas are there, and these Vedas also are just there to explain to us about how to worship Bhagavan, how to do Aradhana of Bhagavan. Just to all the purpose of the Vedas is to lead us towards Bhagavan. So the devotee considers like this, and then it becomes devoted to the study of the Vedas, Veda Abhyasa Nishtha. So this being devoted to the study of the Vedas with the understanding that this is for leading us towards Bhagavan is known as Swadhyayah or self-study. Next, tapah krichra chandrayana dvadashi upavasadehe bhagavad prinana karma yogyata padanasya karanam. So this in the world often our mind heart may not be very pure. So just to make it pure, devotees we time to time engage in different austerities like Dvadashi Upavasam, the Ekadashi Vratam, fasting on Ekadashi, etc. And so these austerities help us to purify to purify our mind and heart, and thereby make us fit or qualified to engage in activities which are pleasing to Bhagavan. In order to become qualified to engage in activities to serve Bhagavan, in order to become qualified to serve Bhagavan in a way that pleases Bhagavan, in order to become qualified to engage in activities which are pleasing to Bhagavan, we first need to become pure, a bit more qualified. In order to do that, one engages in austerities like these vratams, Ekadashi, Dvadashi vratam, etc. So that is known as tapah or austerity. Arjavam manovakaya karma vrittinam ekanishtata pareshu. So what is Arjavam? Arjavam means straightforwardness or simplicity. So that is we have this mano, that is mind, vak, speech or words, kaya is body. So the things that we thoughts that are there, then the words, the things that we speak, and kaya, actions that we perform with the body. There should be harmony or unison among these things. There should be harmony among things that we think with the mind, things that we speak with our mouth, and the activities that we do with our body. When interacting with others, when dealing with others, all these three things, our thoughts, our actions, and our words should be in harmony or unison. So that is known as straightforwardness or simplicity or arjavam. It should not be that we think of one thing with the mind, we say another thing with our mouth, and we act on some other thing. So that should not be there. There should be unison or harmony among these things, among our mind, actions and words. So that is known as arjavam. So these are the different qualities that are there, which have been mentioned by Bhagavan Shri Krishna and which have been explained by Bhagavad Ramanuja. Again, we'll just look at these qualities once more. And abhayam sattva samshuddhi jnana yoga vyavasthitihi dhanam damaha cha yajnascha swadhyayastapa arjavam. Abhayam means fearlessness. And we can see that there may be causes for to indicate that things that we want or things may get separated from us, and things that we don't want may come upon us. But so this causes distress, and absence of that distress or overcoming that fear is known as abhayam. Sattva samshuddhi, purification of our mind, heart, intellect from rajas and tamas. Jnana yoga vyavasthitihi, knowing and understanding the distinction between the body, mind, and the self. Dana is giving, earning money in a righteous manner and giving it to deserving people. Dhamma, practicing the habit of controlling the mind from going towards worldly objects. Yajna, considering that all the different yajnas are also like an aradhana of Bhagavan only, and without desiring the fruits or results of these activities, engaging in these activities is yajna. Swadhyaya, considering that the Vedas exist only for the purpose of explaining to us about Bhagavan and the vibhutis of Bhagavan, the form, qualities, pastimes, paraphernalia of Bhagavan, and also tell us about how to worship Bhagavan. So considering like this, being devoted to the study of Vedas is known as Svadhyaya. Tapa, engaging in austerities like Dvadashi Upavasam, etc., for purifying ourselves to make us fit enough to engage in service that is pleasing to Bhagavan. This is known as Tapa or austerity. Arjavam, there should be harmony or harmony between our mind and our words and our actions when dealing with, interacting with others. So that is arjavam or straightforwardness. So these are different qualities mentioned by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the first verse of chapter 16, where Bhagavan is talking about divine qualities, and this is how Srimad Bhagavad Ramanuja Acharya, Ramanuja explained these qualities. So we looked at these things, and later on maybe we'll look at more other such qualities. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.